Where your attention goes, energy flows. So I don't know who exactly coined this term. Leave it in the comments below if you do know. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up in a video today is because I think it's the perfect example of lack mentality versus abundance mentality, which is literally the turning point if you want to start manifesting things into your experience. And when you can become conscious of the types of thoughts that you're having and start to ask yourself, right now in this moment, where is my awareness? Am I focused on what I want, or am I focused on what I don't want? And many of us, we think that we're focused on what we want most dominantly during the day, but the reality is that we're focused on the lack of it. We're focused on the fact that it isn't here yet. And so one of the key components of effective manifestation is to have the intention, yes, of where we're going. But when we're navigating this physical world, there are going to be a lot of things that come up that don't represent what it is that we're trying to achieve. So there are a lot of things that are going to come up that are going to actually represent the opposite of what we want. And so this is why it's so important that we begin to focus our attention on two things. So we want to focus on one, what we want to create, but two, what are we already grateful for that we have? Simply by keeping our focus on those two things, we pivot to an abundance mindset. So as I'm navigating the world, yes, there are going to be tons of things that come up in my perception that I don't want. That's okay. I have to subtly shift my direction towards thinking about what I do want, thinking about how great it's going to feel when I do have it, or focusing on the things that I already have. So what do I have in my life now that I'm happy about, that I once wanted and now I do have, right? There are so many things that I'm sure many of you guys have manifested already in your life. And what happens when you start to put your attention on the things that are already going well, on focusing on how you manifested something in the past and how great that felt. When you put your attention on that, when you put your focus on that, you connect to that vibration and you draw more of that in. But what the majority of us do is we want something, and the second we want something, we sit in the feeling of, okay, but it's not here yet. Okay, but where is it? Okay, but I'm lacking it. And now I'm not happy with my life. I think this is the biggest ego trip that we experience when it comes to manifestation is we launch the desire, and the second we launch a desire, we're no longer happy with where we are. And it's kind of like that idea of keeping up with the Joneses, right? Where, we get one thing and we're excited, and then, oh, they got something else? Okay, well now I'm not happy with this thing that I got, and now I need something better, I need something more. And so we have to really be aware of that mentality because we often sink into that. And if we're residing in that vibration predominantly during the day, then we're going to keep manifesting things that we don't want. We're going to keep manifesting lack. Unfortunately, that's what it means to be in a lack-based mindset. And because of the law of attraction, it's going to be mirrored back to us, because as we know, what we see in our physical world is what we predominantly think, feel, and see in our inner world. When we can make our inner world a place where we focus predominantly, it doesn't mean all the time. This is not about toxic positivity, right? This is not about saying to yourself, I have to be happy all the time, but dominantly, right? We want to dominantly be focused on what we want and what we have, and begin to see how fast this shifts the physical manifestations that you begin seeing in your everyday life. So on that note, this is exactly the type of work that I get into in the Clear Your Money Blocks workshop. This is all about tapping into the abundance frequency. This is not about strategies. It's not about trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to make more money? It has nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing to do with that. I myself, when I was focusing on strategies and techniques, it never worked. But when I started to change how I felt about myself, when I started to change how I saw myself and how I saw money, how did I relate to money, right? And I got on a different frequency. I got on a different wavelength. And you have the exact same ability to do this. But you know what blocks us? is our perpetual negative belief systems. And often these are belief systems that do not even belong to us. They belong to society, they belong to our parents, they belong to maybe our teachers from growing up, our friends, family members, whatever it may be. We have these negative beliefs that don't serve the vision that we're trying to create when it comes to our financial situation. I am someone who believes that we deserve financial abundance. There's no limits. There's no cap. When you get into the power seat of your own life and you realize that this is a limitless universe. When I have something, it does not take away from you. When you have something, it does not take away from me. And when we get into that mentality of abundance versus lack, we start to create things in effortlessly. And this comes down to finances and money as well. So if you guys are wanting to tap into the abundance frequency and clear your money blocks, there is an interactive workshop, and I'll leave the link down below. Okay, but I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Go down below, subscribe, hit the bell to get my notifications, and I'll see you guys really soon. Take care.